All right, welcome to today's session. It's the 17th of January. 17th already, halfway through the first month. So 17th of Jan, it's 1 p.m. and we're doing the Crossfire session with the pairs that we've got on the chart: Euro CAD, Euro NZD. That's wrong. It should be it should be Euro USD. There we go, that's better. Okay, so let's start again. So on the charts, we've got the Euro CAD, the Euro USD, the GBP CAD, and GBP USD. All right, so it's been a bit of a slow start to the week. We had Martin Luther King Day on Monday. Tuesday, we made some decent trades yesterday. I was doing a different session. And today we've got a whole load of news. Look at this. So Canadian dollar at 130, okay, low impact, and then we've got 5 sets of high impact news. Or was it 4? 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 sets of high impact news at 13:30 again with the USD. More news at 13:30. More news at 13:30. So there's going to be some interesting price action at 1:30. And again, this is UK time, and more Canadian news at 1:30. And we know that pretty much the financial institutions, or the big boys as sometimes we like to call it, the big players, they like to manipulate the markets and they hide behind news. And we'll see that today. We'll see that happening. Okay. So first thing I'm going to do, I've already put some imbalance on here. I've already taken the indicators off so I can see the chart so it's nice and clean. I'm going to go and put the vertical line on the 1300 and then just going to place a couple of trend lines. One at the top and one at the bottom, and the one at the top I'm going to change to green. And essentially with this strategy, it's the principle of the strategy is we want price to go above the green trend line for a buy, and we want the price to go below the red trend line for a sell. And of course there are lots of other factors to consider as well. So if you haven't yet seen the course, I've put a mini course together explaining exactly what to do. You'll see the cards just up there. Have a look at the card and you'll go and get access to module number 1 of the course. So that's just gives you a bit of insight. It doesn't, obviously, you don't learn how to trade from a free course on YouTube, but it'll give you some insights on how to trade this and what we do. Okay. Right. So the next thing we've got the Euro USD. I'll go and put the. Oh, okay. We'll start with that then. And what I do, I just get these trend lines on in readiness because we've got to wait for the 1300 candles to stop painting, and this is the 15-minute time frame. So once that's finished painting and we get a new time frame, then we can go and put the trend lines on that as well. And it's very simple, very straightforward, and it is accurate as well. So that's one of the good things. Let's just see a quick look at some imbalance, see if there's any imbalance, because imbalance are obviously, they give us our areas of interest. So you see how prices come down there, and there was a gap here, okay, between this wick and this wick here. Candle 1, candle 3, the candle that we're looking at has got a bit of a gap. Okay, so only just, but it's still a gap. Okay, so we're going to go and put that on. So I'll get the box tool, and I'll just go and highlight that just down to that little red wick just there. Okay, so between there and here. All right. Then what I do, I just go onto the cogwheel. I've got a little template that says imbalance, and all it does, it just gives me the text on there. So that's that. Nothing much else on there, I don't think. Okay, let's leave that for now. Now we'll look at GBP CAD. As I said, I've already put the imbalance on there. And when you put imbalance on near the current price, that imbalance, that'll probably, by the time sort of 13.15 comes along or whatever, it may well have been taken out. So I'll just have to remove this, but we can just leave it on for now. Okay, and you can see that areas up here, you've got imbalance there. Okay, you've got imbalance kind of between there and the bottom of that wick. It's bottom of that wick, top of this wick. Okay, there. So it's but I'm not going to put it on because it is quite near the price action. So we're going to put the vertical line on, that goes on 1300, and then a couple of trend lines on the chart. Okay, so there we go. So Euro CAD all ready. They're already, yeah. What I'll do as well, I'll put a line on 1330. Okay, again, just to give me a visual, because obviously there's going to be news coming up, and I'll just put my my news thing on there. Okay, so the Euro USD, obviously it's given us indication. Hang on a minute, that's on the 5 minute. Just notice that. Right, let's take this imbalance off, because obviously I like to put the imbalance on the 15-minute time frame. So below this wick here, and to the top of this little wick here. There we go. So template, imbalance, okay, and then we'll just neaten that up a little bit. There you go. The only reason I go all the way across is because see these little dots, orange dots, sometimes they hide where we need to go, and if I was trying to bring it down so I won't really be able to see it, so just bring it across and then neaten it up. What have we got here? So there would have been imbalance there, but this came all the way down and mitigated that. Yeah, that'll do. That's good. That's good. That's good. Okay, we're ready to go. What I'm going to do as well, I'm going to take out these areas of interest. So there's quite a number of things that you can do in terms of the areas of interest. So number one, I've got the pivots on, and you can see if somebody doesn't use pivots, then sometimes they'll get into a trade and they'll see the price go up and resist around this area, and sometimes they may not know 100% as to why price is stopping this area. The other area of interest, as I put on before, as I've shown you before, I put those areas of interest at certain highs and lows, and I put them on manually, and the more you do them, the more you get used to them. Okay, now the other areas of interest that I put on, I haven't really discussed it much in this, but it's this. Okay, it's the volume profile, and what this does, it gives us an indication of the most traded areas or the most traded times at that in the session. Okay, so if we look at sort of yesterday's area, okay, we can see that from this graph. Okay, it peaked up to here, okay, and it peaked a little bit there, but the most traded time, okay, the most traded area was here. Okay, and this area is what we call a point of control. Okay, and what you find is very similarly to our kind of area, it forms part of an area of interest, but at the same time, as you can see, price went to there, it resisted, it came back down, and then it comes back to it. Okay, so what you always find is that if you've got a previous day, okay, so this red line is yesterday's point of control, and what you've got, it's a bit like imbalance, and you can see there, look, the bottom of the imbalance, okay, is the same as the bottom of yesterday's point of control. So that's yesterday's point of control, and you can see how price went down, okay, back up, hit the point of control, okay, and then came back to it, okay, and this point of control is relevant, and if price hits it, then it's a bit like imbalance where it mitigates it and it kind of cancels it for the next time. But what you can do on your charts is that you can plot all the points of control that have not been mitigated in the same way that you can do imbalance. Okay, so again, it just adds additional confirmations. Now, one thing I will say about that is you're going, okay, you've got imbalance, you've got these points of control, you've got these areas of interest. Are we not getting into the zone of having like too many lines on your chart? And yeah, potentially you can. Okay, and what you want to be doing is just having enough information for you to become confident with your trades and be able to understand the price and what price is really doing. And that's all we're looking for when we're trading. Okay, all we want is to know, okay, price is coming down. Is it going to continue coming down? And can I get in a trade for the sell? Okay, or is price going up? Is it going to continue to go up? And can I get in the trade for a buy? Okay, and if you look at this, okay, so reading this area here, we've got price that came down. It came almost down to the pivot line. This is S1, support 1. It went up to the imbalance. Okay, it went through the imbalance. It came up through this imbalance. It came up through the point of control. Okay, and it came down and it touched that imbalance perfectly. It's a perfect touch. Then it went back up again. Okay, through this point of control here. It resisted a little bit because obviously that's a point of control, and it went up to this area, came back down through the pivot line. Okay, came back up again, resisted on this imbalance, and you can just see how price works when you've got enough information on your chart to make a decision. The danger, obviously, as I've said, is having too much information and you don't know whether you're coming or going. Okay, so that's another point. So what you want to be doing is, what you'll find is that if you speak to half a dozen traders doing a very similar strategy, you'll get half a dozen slightly different and in some ways slightly conflicting information. And what you've got to do when you're learning to trade, you've got to listen to everything and digest it for yourself, and then ultimately come on the charts and do a whole load of back testing. There's no excuse for it. There's no getting away from actually getting onto the charts and just doing your own thing. Okay, and that's why doing back testing and also going to live sessions makes such a massive difference. Okay, the only reason I can trade today is because of the live sessions. Okay, and that really is it. I tried for years to try and learn from YouTube, and the trouble is with YouTube is that you'll see somebody doing one strategy, and then you'll see somebody else doing a very similar strategy, but they'll tell you something different, and then it knocks your confidence out the window. Okay, so I know, I've been there. Okay, so if you can chip in and ask a question, then that makes all the difference in the world, I'll tell you right now. So it's like trying to train for a marathon. You can get the trainers, you can get some great shorts, you can get the old rubbing gels, you can eat properly, but unless you actually do the miles on the road, you're not going to make any progress. It's exactly the same. Okay, so let's go and take this off. And if you want this, okay, have a look at this. This is SVP, okay, and the settings in for there is the value area is volume 70, and we had a strategy a little while ago called V70, and it was basically just using the volume profile to trade gold, and it worked extremely well, and it continues to work well. And this is one of the things, is that people will develop a strategy, you will learn the strategy, and then you go, okay, I've got this strategy down, fantastic, and then suddenly they go, I've got this new strategy, I've got this new indicator, go and have a look at this, and you think, and this happens time and time again, because as human beings, we want to constantly improve and constantly looking for the next best thing. What I would say is that if you've got a really simple strategy that is giving you consistent wins, just bloody stick with it. Don't think what's the next best thing, because what you'll do, you'll end up in a whole abyss of trying to learn stuff. And what a lot of people do is they're constantly in this zone of learning. Okay, today I'm going to learn this. Today I'm going to go on this session. Today, okay, how much money have you actually made doing trading? And you've got to be able to turn that knowledge that you're learning into money in the bank. All right, and that's what we're here for. Right, so let's go and did I not put the indicators on this? Did I? So that's what happens when I talk too much. Right, so 1300 is where you want to be. The two indicators, or the two trend lines. I'm going to put those on there. Make it a wee bit bigger. And we're looking for the candle that is higher than the 1300, which is this one right next to it. So I'm going to put the magnet tool on. I'm going to come over and put the trend line on the wick, which is the higher high, next to this candle. And you see there's no actual wick, it's just a body. Okay, so we put the trend line through the middle of the body, about there. Okay, and from this one, looking for the lower low. So if you look at the crosshairs, okay, the lower low going across is this down here. That goes onto there. If I put that on the wick, that's it. And this goes on the bottom of that wick. There we go, that's it, we're done. Okay, so I'm going to put the straightforward Forex indicator back on. I'm going to put my 513 and 62 clouds back on. And I'm going to put it on the 2-minute time frame. And I'm going to take off my magnet indicator because it can mess with a few things. All right, that's us. We're ready and set up. Okay, next one, EuroCAD. Okay, so higher high, magnet tool. Higher high is that wick there, and we're down onto that wick here, and that a bit bigger. The lower low is this big wick down here. Good. Okay, 2 minutes. Magnet tool off. Indicators back on. And that's us waiting. Right, GBP CAD. So the higher high, the one next to it. That one there. Come on, magnet tool. Thank you. Alright, and this one on top of the wick. And the lower low, so if you go to there, look at the crosshairs, and you see that's the lower low there. Okay, so that goes under there. And this to there. There we go, that's it. Right, 2-minute time frame. And we are on with the straightforward and on with the clouds. GBP, USD, we've done that one, done this one, found that a bit bigger. Okay, right, we're ready, we're on the 2 minutes, we're good to go. Right, so what have we got here? This is the EuroCAD. So currently, the first thing I look at, okay, is we're in between the green and the red, okay? So this is what we call no man's land, okay? We don't want to be taking any trades in this area at all, okay? If I'm looking at a trade, okay, then I want price to come below the red trend line and start moving downwards, okay? Or going above the green trend line and going up. But right now, it's a no-no. Oh, for goodness sake. I thought I'd done all these. Right, higher high. Magnet tool on, we're on the 15-minute. And the lower low, I'm going to go for that green one just here. Okay. Right, so again, we're in no man's land. Okay, nothing's really happening. Going to put the indicator or just a line there on the news, but yeah, nothing's happening at the moment, so we'll just wait, and probably nothing will happen until the news, because you know they'll just be waiting for that news to kick in. Okay, what have we got here? So we've got CAD news in 10 minutes. We're starting to go below this trend line. If we look at the overall indicator, we're in a wave down. Okay, we've got lots of downward movement on here, so that's interesting. The Wadarata is strong. We've got the PSAR that's flipped on red, and it could well be making its way down to the imbalance. Okay, so what have we got in terms of our areas of interest? I would say we've got a strong move down to this area about here. But I'm still not interested, because even though price is going down, it's looking quite good. We're still dragging our feet on that trend line. Okay, so we're still in resistance, but everything else is looking good. Okay, we've got a nice lot of histogram. We've got the histogram is this side. What have we got in a minute? So we've got 40 seconds left. So I'm going to wait until the next line, and you know, from there we could see a move to the imbalance and maybe even take out that imbalance. But be mindful of the fact that also we've got 10 minutes left before that news kicks in, which is again making me cautious and just keeping me out right now. So 10 seconds left. Let's see where this is going to go. I'll probably get a new candle in. It might go green, but it's still going. So let's just see what we go short onto there. Okay. Now then, what have we got in terms of a stop loss? 8 pips, just above that engulfing candle here. Okay. And can we get a 1 to 2 out of this? Well, a 1 to 2 takes us down to this area here. But what's going to keep me out of this is the news. Okay, even though this is looking nice, it's the news that's going to affect everything. Okay, so we'll leave that on for now. Let's just leave that on for now. It's GBP CAD, GBP USD. All right, it's gone below the red trend line, but I'm not going to get into anything with this with the amount of high impact news. Just going to wait. I'm just going to wait until the news kicks in to see. So Euro CAD, that's gone down as well. So we've got yesterday's POC, which is a really nice attractor. So the question we've got to ask ourselves is is there enough legs in this to... Oh, that's the wrong one. Is there enough legs in this move to take us all the way down, and do the numbers work? So we want to be above the red trend line. Okay, that's taken us to 7 or 8 pips. Okay, and have we got enough in it? No, heck. So you might want to come down to the POC, yesterday's POC, which I've just explained. And also we've got the pivot line and also imbalance, but the numbers don't work for this because we can't go, it's not going to go all the way down there, not before the news. So what you'll probably find, like this got this nice move down here, which more than likely could well be a fake out. Okay, so it's enticing people to do this, where people go, oh, my stop loss is up here. Okay, that's safe. Okay, it's going down for the buy, so we've got outstanding POCs attracting not only the price but also retail traders to get into the sell. And then when the news kicks in, it shoots down and then comes all the way back up. Okay, or it could shoot back up and then come back down again. Okay, to take people out their stop losses, because our stop loss is up here. Okay, that's what you got to be mindful of when the news is, or when you get lots of high impact news on the horizon. Okay, let's have a quick look at GBP CAD. Same thing. Okay, so I'm guessing that's what this is. Okay, is a tempting carrot dangling in front of the faces of retail traders. Five minutes left, so we've got 4.5 minutes before the news kicks in, and then we'll see what's going to happen. And you know, you've got this big pull down here. This is quite a decent move. This is this move from 11:58 this morning, UK time, has pushed down 54 pips. That's on the 2-minute time frame. So you can see it's quite a big move. Okay. So we've taken out this imbalance. This imbalance is now gone. We've got imbalance down here. And what else have we got in terms of imbalance? We've got imbalance further down here as well. Okay, and also you see these blue lines and the pivot lines, they're all areas of interest. So it'll be interesting to see what actually happens. I'm thinking price, when that news kicks in, is going to push up and then push down. Right, GU. So now we've got this price coming down. So there you've got the moving average, the 200 moving average, and typically, as you can see, price went down, it came back up again because this 200 moving average is an area of resistance. Then it pushed through, then it broke clear of it. Then we've got the white moving average, okay, the 5 moving average, and it's also pointing down. Okay, so when you get a moving average and they're in order and they're pointing in the direction of the trade, that can give you an additional confirmation that it's going in the direction that you want it to. Okay, but right now it's pointing down. It's now on the pivot line. Okay, that's going to be an area of resistance for the price coming down. And I think probably what's going to happen with this is we're not going to get much price movement above or below this area until the news kicks in, and it'll probably shoot up and come back down. But that's just my guess. You may well have people in this trade for a sell, okay, thinking it's going to come all the way down to the imbalance. I don't know. I don't know who would do that, because I mean, if it was me and I'd made a big trade, I'd just be getting out before the news, without a doubt. Right, Euro CAD. So that's still coming down, but it can do what it wants. We're not interested. So it came down to here. Okay. But let's assume, right? Let's make an assumption that we're in this trade, okay, and we're just gonna go, okay, we've got high impact news, but we're just gonna we're just gonna stay in the trade because we're confident it's gonna come down. Okay, that's what we're going to assume. Wrongly. Let's just see what happens when the news kicks in. So about a minute and a half left. So Euro USD pushed through the red trend line, so it's pushed through there. Again, it looks encouraging, but again, news. Let's just wait. GBP CAD. Same thing, 13:30. I put my line on there, but I'm going to put it on 13:30 news, which is going to be in 30 seconds. I think one of the things we should do is have a look at GU, because that's always a nice one. So you can see how the pound is dropping off. Pound now at 1.266 against the dollar. You know, back in the day when I had my places over in Florida, I was doing business over in Florida, it was like 1.5, 1.6. It was great. Not anymore. There we go. Here's the news. So had we been into the Euro US, we'd have done all right. Oh, which, no, was it Euro CAD? Yeah, we'd have been all right. Oh, would have been in profit a little bit, a tiny bit. Didn't go all the way down, but again, the unpredictability or volatility of news, you just want to be staying out. Because if you don't, you lose all your hair. So this news didn't actually react, or the price didn't actually react as badly as it normally does. We are midweek, so we're in the buoyant time of the trading week. Sometime, I mean, what's that moved? That's moved. It's only moved 12 pips. Oh. So the euro has tanked. 17, 18 pips. It's not massive, but it's still reacting. And all we do, we just stay out of these trades. We don't get into a trade. I mean, some people do. I've seen one guy a few years ago. He was trading during non-farm payroll on a phone. Don't know how I did it, but he made a lot of money. Good on him. Okay, but not for me. You see how price is quite volatile now, and you know what we've got is just a lot of just volatility, just following that news, and you just want to be staying out of it, not really, just wait until those markets settle down again, and then we'll stop and reassess, and then see where we are once things have settled down. But I mean, if we were in the sell, okay, we'd have been okay. Okay, we'd have been looking at that, going, yeah, we made the right decision. But it's not the right decision to stay in when you've got high volatility news or high impact news. That's what I'm trying to say. Because what I've seen before is price come down and then suddenly it will shoot all the way up, okay, in a blink, and then come all the way back down, okay. And because they're just taking out stop losses. That didn't happen today, but you just don't know you don't know when it will. Okay. Right, let's go and have a look from the start. So Euro CAD. So Euro CAD still waiting for that volatility to die down. So on the Wadarata, we've got the histogram, which again showed us strength, obviously because we had strength in the sell there. It's starting to slow down, so that's why the colour's gone lighter. This blue area is the dead zone, and the explosion line is still moving away. Okay, but I always like to see, if you're going to get into a trade, you really want the explosion line to be moving away from the dead zone, and also the histogram to be outside like that of that dead zone, of that explosion line. Thank you. Okay, so that was nice positive moves for the downside, as you can see here. Right, Euro USD just very slowly starting to recover. CAD, excuse me. Let's go and take these off. So if see, we've got the PSAR flip now, so it's touched that PSAR, the red one from up there. It's now flipped underneath. But in terms of where we are with the indicator, we're still in a wave down. See that? See that there? Wave down. We're still in a wave down. So it's still saying, look out for sells. Okay. Even though now we've got the PSAR flip and we're starting to run out of steam on the Wadarata, back into the dead zone. So again, we're just waiting to see what's going to happen. But essentially, what I was going to say, if price went up for the buy, okay, and it went through the green trend line, I wouldn't really be interested until it went through the red trend line, because there's not enough volume in it. Okay, so if I take the ruler, okay, so that's going to measure the pip. So if you measured it from the green trend line, okay, up to the red trend line, we've got 8 pips, and we know that that area, the red trend line, is going to be resistance for price when it's in a bearish move. And there's not enough in it. Okay, there's not enough pips in it. You know, there's not enough to be bothered with when you take into account spread, which is how much commission your broker takes, which could be a pip, could be 2 pips. So if you take off, say, 2 pips, you're looking at 5 pips. Okay, 5 or 6 pips, not worth it. Okay, and this is why some people don't like scalping, because they'll say, don't scalp, it's no good, all you're doing is you're giving your money back to the brokers, and if you get your numbers wrong, yes you are. Okay, just in the same way, if you buy a house and you buy it, you know, too expensive, you always always profit when you buy, because you buy at the right price, and this is no different. No different. Right. What have we got on there? GBP USD. Still just in the process of settling down, but the water are saying there's not much volume in it at the moment. We're currently in a wave. We're in a wave. Yeah, currently in a wave down, as you can see from there. Look, in a wave down. Look, the waveform, and the wave's getting slightly bigger. Okay, or was it? Yeah, it's probably. Yeah, it's not too bad. It's still quite encouraging. We've got a red PSAR. The red PSAR is quite a distance away from the candle, which indicates there is or was some decent volume in there, and we know there was because we saw this big manipulative move at the time. We're below the red trend line, we're below the green trend line, but the WAD hour is keeping us out, and also the price action is keeping us out because nothing's really happening too much. Now if we go back and have a look at areas of interest, see where we are right now, the crosshairs, we're at this lower low here, okay, and it peaked down to just a bit further down here, okay, and obviously we know that was manipulation, but this is where we are now. Okay, so if you want to go for the sell, okay, then we look at this as an area of interest or an area of resistance. Okay, maybe we could do it to somewhere about, we'll do it to there. Okay, we'll do it to there. And if you then measure that from where price is now, what have we got? 3 pips, and we know that's going to be an area where it could bounce. Okay, so what we're going to do, we're going to wait and see what happens at this area, because price will do 1 or 2 things. It'll do 3 things. It'll bounce, so it'll come back down and bounce off. Okay, it'll break where it might come back off and then break down. Okay, or it'll go sideways. Okay, so we've got to look at that. So are we interested in getting into this? No, not right now. Okay, so if it did come further down from there, then we've got to look at this price action. Okay, and look at the you know, what's happening, where's the resistance areas. That see how price went up to that area there. Okay, that's quite an interesting area. And again, if we're looking for those areas for the sell, okay, we want to be taking away all that optimism bias, okay, and thinking, okay, we want to be looking for higher areas, okay, not down here where price went, but further up, okay, to be conservative. And then we put those numbers on, and if the numbers work, if we can get a 2-to-1 ratio without a massive stop loss, then we consider the buy or the sell. We consider the trade. But look what's happening now. Price completely readjusted itself after this, and it's come back into this area where it was before the manipulation happened, before the news happened. Let's check the news again, just to make sure we haven't got any other news or any impact. So yeah, look, we've got news at 13:55, news at 1400, more news at 1400, 14:15, 1500, 15:15. It's just everywhere today. Combination of low and medium news. So right, let's go back at EuroCAD. I'm going to just remove that. So price came down with the manipulation, it came back up again, it started to right itself, and now here we are. Okay, so it's almost like, you know, you've capsized your canoe and you've righted yourself, and you're back doing whatever you were doing. Although admittedly the waters are a bit choppy, as you can see. So this point of control, I'm just gonna take off for now because it's been mitigated, it's been taken out. But what you'll find quite often is the points of control will coincide with other points, other areas of interest. So your point of control could also be a similar area to your pivot. It could also be a similar area to the blue lines that I put on, you know, the higher highs and such. So just make a general assessment when you're doing this, but just don't confuse yourself too much. Okay. So we're currently in a wave down. See that? We're in a wave down. We've got the PSAR flip. The Wadarata is saying we're still in the dead zone, so we're not interested. And price is kind of in the middle of nowhere, really. It's obviously below our red trend line, but middle of nowhere. So we'll just leave that for now. Euro USD, same thing. The explosion line is kind of leveled off. It is slightly pointing down. Okay, we've got the histogram that is outside the dead zone, but what the situation we've got here is now we've got this imbalance which has now been mitigated, and price almost came just to the bottom of that imbalance. So this area here, okay, is going to be the turning point, okay, where price will either bounce or break. Okay, so from here down to here is 10 pips. So are we interested in looking at that? Possibly not. Okay, because again, there's not really much in it, and if we're going to take our stop loss up here, okay, then that is going to be comparatively the same. So let's take it from where it was, where it is. So look, you're almost 10 pips. So in order to profit, we need to be 20 pips. Okay, which takes us to the top of just past the pivot line. Okay, so again, the numbers don't work. There's not enough volume in there to push the price in the direction that we want to go. So what do? This is what we do. No thanks. That's it. We stay out. We don't try and hope that price is going to come down. We just go, price isn't going to come down. The numbers don't work. We'll stay out. Because there's always an opportunity to get into a trade. And as I always say, we're not just looking for any trade, we're looking for really good trades and trades that we can have confidence in. We don't want to be on the edge of our seat every time we click buy or sell. Otherwise you'll just end up rocking and slavering a chair. Now this price starting to go sideways, starting a bit of sideways consolidation, and you can see, look, from there, that area of interest came down, touched it. So this area of interest is now resistance for the price, as is now this green trend line. So we've got resistance for that, unless it pushes down, but it's offering resistance. But again, look at the Wadar. Wadar's going, no, there's nothing here. And also the explosion line is now going back towards the dead zone. So really kind of run out of steam with that, and we've now got sideways movement. GU, what's happening with that? Exactly the same. Sideways movement, nothing really happening. And again, if we're going to look at this, okay, if we're going to get interested in this for a sell, okay, look at what we've got. What have we got on the charts? Okay, let's see. Okay, so where are we? We're in a wave down. Okay, check number one. So the wave is down there. But what about the PSAR? Look, PSAR is the wrong colour. PSAR is pushing up. It's green. Okay, so that's a no-no. Also, we've got the Wadarata, which is showing some signs of encouragement. But look at this. You've got hardly any hardly any volume whatsoever, and then you got this bit of a push. Okay, so why is it pushed down there? Okay, and also where's it going to? Well, it's going to our area of interest. Okay, so it's going to do two things: it's going to bounce or break or go sideways from this area of interest, and also I want the price to come down and touch this green PSAR, which will then flip the PSAR red at the top, and then possibly we can then consider, is it going to come down and look at this imbalance and maybe take out some of this imbalance. Okay, let's have a look. So if we go left, look, I've got that. Okay, if we look at this area here, let's get this zoomed in so we can see. Right, so areas of interest. What I would like to see as well, I would like to see some more price action further left. Okay, so let's have a look further left. What have we got? This is more interesting. Okay, so we've got this area here. This area here. Let's get our line tool on. So you see how the line has gone through these candles. Okay, but if you look right, it's missed these candles. Okay. So we're going to take it down to there, maybe even down to, let's keep it there. Okay, so now we look right and see what we've got. Okay, so it's tapped these, it's tapped there perfectly. Okay, so that's quite a nice area of interest, which is just here. But how far is it away from the price? Not much. Okay, only 3.3 pips. Okay, so what else have we got? So further back, there we go. As soon as you put a line on, things start to make a little bit of sense. So we've got these two here, this here, okay, this little cluster here, and maybe even take it down to about there, okay, which could be a bit more interesting. But again, what we've got to do, we've got to wait for price to come down to see what's going to happen. And the trouble is, when you do this, you could go, well, there's a line, and there's a line, and there's a line, and before you know it, your line looks like a 27-string banjo, and you don't know what the heck you're looking at. Okay, so again, just put as few lines on as you can, and depending on price action, will depend on whether it's going to come down to this imbalance or not. And you know a positive move. Okay. So look, we've got to wait for price to come down and touch this PSAR, okay? So we might as well get rid of this one, okay? Because price has got to come down to there anyway, right? And then we're looking at there. So, you know, it's not, by all means, it's not ready, but by the same token, it's, you know, it's one to look out for, and this is what you want to be doing when you're trading. And as you can see, look, it's gone back up there now, okay? So. So again, we're just waiting to see what happens. Right, let's go back to Euro CAD. Again, Euro CAD's just, you know, so much news about today. We're currently at 13.49, so 13.55 is when the next news kicks in, and. Strange price action this. Euro USD. Again, we've discussed this before. We've got areas of support and resistance, and you know, price may want to come down. Price has to come down. It has to come down at some point. Let's see where this imbalance is from. Let's go on the 15-minute time frame. Wednesday, the 13th of December, 1915, all that imbalance was created, and it's still yet to be taken out. So what you've got here is you've got the financial institutions pushing the price up, okay, to manipulate the markets, and they've left all this money on the table. There's loads of money. What have we got there on the table? Okay, 60, call it 60 pips, all right? So it takes $10 million to move 1 pip. So you're looking at $600 million on average, okay, that's been left on the table. And they need to come back and collect that, okay? So when price comes down, that money is removed from the table, okay? It's mitigated that imbalance. It's got to come down. It's got to come down, okay, because of all that money that's been left. But we don't know when. And that's the big thing about this. We don't know when it's got to come down or when it's going to come down. So let's just make that a bit bigger. There we go. And there we are. 600 million just sat there. But again, we've got the PSAR flip. We've got the PSAR is now green. The histogram is showing green. The explosion line is starting to move back towards the dead zone. And we are currently in a wave down still. Okay. So how conflicting is that? Okay, wave down, green PSAR. Hang on a minute, what's going on? Well, what's going on is things aren't quite normal. Okay, something's happening. Okay, and what we do is, if you get conflicting information like this, then we stay out. Okay, depending on our own experiences, we stay out. Okay, because this price is telling me it wants to come back down again. Okay, and I know at some point it is going to come down because it needs to take out all this imbalance, all 600 million of it. And again, sometimes, you know, when you trade, it's a case of, how do you feel about this trade? Do you feel confident that it's a good trade, or have you got doubts? And if you've got doubts, then you just stay out of it, because those doubts are there. They're telling you something, okay? And the more back testing you do, the more sessions you go on, the more that you learn about trading, full stop, the more that you'll understand that what is happening in the markets, and the more confident you'll be whether to stay in a trade or whether to stay out. So yeah, nothing happening on this one. Kind of going sideways. It's gone sideways since the news, or since 1330. So we had this big push down. 1330 is now going sideways. And GU, what's GU doing? Sideways. So what do we do when it goes sideways? What can we do? Can we just keep looking at the charts all day and then go to bed with your phone and then wake up and look at the charts? No. This is what we do. Okay, so we go to this little indicator here, the parallel channel. Okay, click on that. Then go to just above, probably around the pivot line will be good. Okay, around the pivot line. Get that as straight as you can. Click that, drag it down, and probably drag it down to this area of interest here, about there. Okay. Then what we're going to do, we're going to click on that, and we're going to put an alert on it, and click on there. So when it's exiting, so GBP USD, exit in the channel, the parallel channel, and you can do it only once. So when the price comes out, you get an alarm go off on your trading view that can come through to your phone or email or text message or carrier pigeon, whatever you want to do. Okay, it'll do it only once per bar close, or once per minute. Okay, and it depends what you want to be doing. I always like once per bar, because if it goes off once and I miss it, that's done, it's finished. Okay, and you'll never hear it. Okay, then click on create. So what will happen is when the price comes out of that box, or out of this box here, then the alarm will go off, and I can come over, have a look at the charts, and make a decision from there. And I can do that on as many as I want. Now, if you've got the free version of TradingView, I think you're limited to 1 or 2 alerts maximum. And when you've got the Pro, I've got the Pro, which is kind of the middle one. I think it's unlimited. And then when you get the maximum membership, you can get unlimited, and also you get, I think, unlimited indicators as well. So you just use whatever you need. Okay, if you're using the free and it's good for you, then fine. Just upgrade when you need to. Right, let's go back and have a look. So Euro CAD. So we had this push here. So that push, what are we looking at? 15 pips or so, 10 pips, 10, 11 pips. and then it started to consolidate, and we've got 13.55. So we've got this news has kicked in. Okay, red book year on year, whatever that is. So it's telling us it's low impact, and gives a bit more information about that. What did we say it was? EuroCAD. Yeah, Euro USD sideways. EuroCAD sideways. The GBP CAD sideways. So they're all going sideways. Most of them anyway. So again, if they're going sideways, just put your parallel channels on, set your alerts, and go and get yourself a cup of tea. And then you'll hear alarms going off, and you can come back and have a look. So this is EuroCAD. I'm just looking at this price action, and it's just it's all over the place. Following that manipulation on, or following the news, price kind of bounced itself. It went back to the upside. So there's the news. It kind of bounced itself and came back up. It went back down, came back up. Big push up here. And again, 10, 11 pips. We're looking at 120, 111 million dollars in that move up there. Okay. Now it's starting to come back down again, but very volatile. It's weird. So I'm still not interested, because again, we're still on a green in terms of the WADA. We've still got a green in terms of the PSAR, and also we're on a wave up. Yeah, wave up. So the market's very conflicting. Of this particular price action is conflicting. So again, what do we do if it's conflicting? We just stay out and watch. Okay, so now we've got this big doji candle. Okay, it's like a big spinning top. Okay, that just tells us that there's indecision in the market, and sideways movement. Right, okay, so we're just about up to the hour. So yeah, we can monitor this. We can maybe put an alert on, but to my mind, it's going weird. So I would just just back away from the weirdness. Let's just leave that for now. Okay, so EuroCAD, that's what we're looking for. That's what we're looking at right now. Euro USD going sideways. So again, we can go and put our parallel channel on. Okay, our sideways movement is turn that off. Is around there, so we'll put a level on. Down to about there. Okay, just very similar to the previous one we did. Highlight it, click on the timer, a little alarm clock thing, put it exit in the channel, okay, once per bar, and create. You can put any message you want on there. It's up to you. GBP CAD, we'll do the same thing. Parallel channel. We'll put it just inside the red trend line that we put on, and we'll put it just outside there. Okay, so I'm looking at that just outside that price. Click the alarm clock. Exit in the channel. And that's it. Okay, and again, you can highlight this. Okay, you can say, have a look at the trade, John. Okay, or whatever message you want to put on there. Click on create, and that's us done. GBP CAD, we've got the alert on there, and as you can see, it lets us know. See that little green timer? It just lets us know that's an alert already set, and we can come over on here, and we can click the timer on the side of Trading View, and we can look at all the alerts that we've got. Okay. There we go. There's all the alerts that we've got right now. Okay, that's it. So back on our prices. There we go. Okay, so I'm gonna go and have another drink. Come back in. Come back when the alarms go off. But look at this. Look at the WADA. Look, like flat. It's almost flatlining. Okay. And even though you've got this price action, okay, where's that price action coming from? Okay, and why is it indicating that there's no volume? Okay, and it's still manipulation because of all this news. So we'll stay out, okay, and when the alarm goes off, we'll come back and have a look. Anyway, I hope you got some value from today's session. It was a bit of a weird one. If you haven't yet subscribed to the channel, then go and hit that subscribe button. Really appreciate that. And if you get some value from this or any of the videos on this channel, give us a thumbs up. Appreciate that. And if you haven't yet got the access to the course, then you can go to the course, have a look, get the fundamentals of the Crossfire strategy, learn something, and then it's just a case of back testing it, going on to as many sessions as you can, and just learning it. That's really all it is. Anyway, I'll see you on the session. I'll see you on the next session. Bye for now.